Welcome back to Matt Bets, Yahoo Sports weekly betting show. I'm Matt Gothard, here with my buddy Jared Quay. We're going through all the NFL games, as always. Let's do it, buddy.
I just want to let you know that I had a great week last week, man. Thanksgiving was good to your boy. My 5-star lock and load pick hit, and I'm happy, man. What about you?
I mean, it's hard to complain when we go undefeated. It's really hard to complain. So let's just keep it going. Like they say, let's let it ride. We got a lot going on this week. We got our most confident picks off the top. We're going to do a tasty teaser with our friend Minty Bets, as usual. We got some money line parlays we're going to throw in there. And you know what? We're going to actually go through every single game. And at the very end, we're going to give you a little bit of college love, too. So let's just get right into it. Locked and loaded. What's your most confident pick of the week?
Ooh, you're not going to like this one. And that's why I like it so much, baby. I'm taking Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid on the road in Foxborough against the Patriots to cover 2.5 points, all right? I think it's going to move up because people love the Patriots. But let's be honest, all right? The Chiefs are going to win this game. The Patriots are not the same. In fact, they went 8-0 the first weeks, but they were playing against bad teams. Every team they played above 500, they're 2-2, and their offense just can't get it going. Something's wrong with Brady. And I think the Texans gave a blueprint, but even more so than that, since the Chiefs came off the bye, their offense looks amazing. Give me Pat Mahomes plus points every time. I think that the Patriots defense is what they're relying on, and I think this offense can handle that. Home field advantage is all they got, so referees, please don't blow this for me.
Referees are definitely something to keep in mind.
That's the new
when
Gronk.
You're playing out there. That is the new Gronk.
Referees are the new Gronk.
No, they've just always been there. They've always been there. It's the real 12th man in the NFL. 2.5, that was a little scary. If you could get at 3, I like that. But I love betting against the Patriots. I love it.
Do you really? Because I think we have a bet.
Oh, we did have a bet. You lost.
This is part of the reason why, all right? So this bet lost, all right? I bet it got their 10-1 odds that the New England Patriots will lose their next 3 games right before they play the Dallas Cowboys. So right now, if the Chiefs win this game, then I'm a Jason Garrett 4th and 7 from the 8-yard line call away from a 10-1 odd bet with him, guys. But I don't care. I'm still happy. I know if they lose 2 of the first 3, you got to give me some props, right?
That was the easiest money I've ever made. It was the easiest money I ever made. I'm not going to give you any props because you lost the first one.
That was a well pick.
It was a well pick.
It was. It was.
A well pick hit. Call me Vegas Matt, man. All right, I'm going to go with your pick. I like that. Maybe I'll tease it up later. But I'm going to go ahead and do a weird one. Green Bay Packers -7 in the first half this week against the Redskins. Last week they hit -3.5 against the Giants pretty easily. But this week it's going to be even easier. At home, Aaron Rodgers. I know it's only half the game, but 7 points is nothing. Sign me up.
Why do you do this? Every time you bet on Green Bay, remember you were like 100% all in against the 49ers, and I was like, what Green Bay showed up? Because it wasn't the Packers. And honestly, Haskins is tricky. Isn't he like 2-0 as a starter now? Either way, I'm going with you. You know the NFC North better than me, so I'm telling that I'm going to go ahead and rock with my boy first half -7.
But I don't know if you don't know this, so I'll just break it down for you really quick. The 49ers are a good team, and then the Redskins are a very bad team. So if you're going to compare those two, it doesn't work like that.
49ers are a good team now. Redskins are a cursed team. There's something about it. It don't matter. You put the Pro Bowl team on the Redskins, somehow they will find a way to lose games.
Maybe. All right, who are you taking next?
All right, my next pick is probably one of my favorites, guys. Always bet on the Saints at home, all right? The Saints are -2.5 at home against the 49ers. Surprise, surprise, the 49ers are a good team. They did beat the Green Bay Packers, but they just played 3 of the toughest games of their life. They're 1 and 2 of those ones. They lost to the Seahawks, they beat the Green Bay, and then they lost to the Ravens. Now they go to the Who Dat Nation, and they got to face Drew Brees, they got to face Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, and a defense like Cam Jordan, who got 4 sacks on Thanksgiving. I just don't think Jimmy Garoppolo and company can handle this on the road. Give me the Saints. They probably win by 7 this one. The 49ers are down. They're bound for a letdown now.
It's going to be a good game.
You think so?
Well, I mean, like a fun game to watch. I don't know if it'll end a good game, but I think it'll be I'm not betting on that.
There's playoff implications on this one. I feel like if the 49ers lose this game, they could potentially go from a first-round bye to literally a wild card spot. And so
yeah.
They're going to play tough, but the Saints have the same problem. They clinch, but they don't want to lose this game. They want home field advantage.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against the Saints in the Superdome. So I guess I would take the Saints. If I had to bet, which because we're on the show, I do. I'll take the Saints. I'll take the Saints.
All right.
All right. That's all you have to say about it?
Who dat, baby? That's all I got to say, man.
Oh, who dat? All
I
right.
need them to have a good fantasy week, too, so I'm for fantasy.
Well, I'm going to keep it in that division, and believe it or not, I'm taking the Falcons -2.5 against the Carolina Panthers. Earlier this week, there was a lot of money being placed on the Panthers. Now, there's been some head coaching changes. There's been a lot of stuff going on there. But the line was not moving in the way you would think it would because the money was coming in on the Panthers, but it was going towards the Falcons. That seems like kind of like a fishy line. It's in Atlanta. You get one more shot, Atlanta. And then if you lose, we're done. We're done forever. So Falcons minus 2.5.
Well, there we go. Now I got to put my money on the Carolina Panthers. Because the Falcons, whenever you put money on the Falcons, it's going to happen. You bet on them, they losing. If you bet against them, they beating you. I don't know, man. I'm done with them. I thought at the beginning of the year, I was like, Falcons going to be good this year. They got a good run game, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. And the next thing they just keep losing bad games. They got 2 onside kicks and still couldn't convert that one.
3.
3 of them. You know how hard it is to get 3 offensive kicks? Probably as hard as it's going to be to beat the Panthers. I just don't think it's going to happen.
In the words of the great Jared Quay, all they have to do is stop Christian McCaffrey. Shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, but they can't stop anybody. They're good defenses have trouble stopping Christian McCaffrey. Imagine a bad defense doing it.
I'm just hoping they come out and win by like 50. Because they do that sometimes when I bet against them, so I'm just looking for that Atlanta team to come out.
I got you. I'm gonna go with the Panthers there, guy. I'm sorry I got that. I rock with you with the Packers. I gotta go Panthers here.
All right, well, let's bet on something together. I think it's time for a tasty teaser with our friend Minty Bets. Minty and Jared, last week we hit our Thanksgiving teaser. We're in the money. I think that's how that works. Minty, let's do it again. 7-point teaser. Who you got this week?
This week, I'm going with the Texans from minus 7.5 to minus half a point. Houston hasn't been too hot as a favorite, going 2-5-1 against the spread this season, but last week they looked incredible. Their defense limited Tom Brady to 82 passing yards, and Deshaun Watson really took advantage of Hopkins, Stills, and Fuller. This is Drew Lock's first road start for the Broncos, so we really don't know how he's going to perform. I'm confident Texans will lock this win at home.
Forget Drew Lock. I think that's a lock. Jared,
Locks and locks, baby. I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts from plus 3.5 to plus 10.5. I think Tampa Bay can't beat anybody 10.5. I think they're a good team, but if you look at the Jaguars game, which Jaguars are my team, so I know I'm biased, they scored 22 points in the first quarter and just 3 points the rest of the game. I don't think they're good. They need turnovers, and I think Jameis is the one throwing them. I like Marlon Mack to come back this game because he's on my fantasy team, and I like them not to lose by 10.5.
All right, I'm taking KC up from 2.5 to 9.5 at New England. Forget the Patriots, man. I like the Chiefs right now, and they got some major problems in New England. So this is a great teaser, and you can bet on it too. All you have to do is go to betmgm.com/Yahoo and look for the Mad Bets Odds Boost. If you need anything gambling-wise on Twitter, follow Minty at MintyBets. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys, it's your favorite part of the show. It's time for Jared's Commitment of the Week. We're in week 14, and I know you're in Survivor League. You just need one winner, and I'm going to give you one because I'm picking a well pick like no other. I'm taking the Houston Texans to beat the Denver Broncos at home. Yes, I know, Drew Lock's first start on the road. Deshaun Watson looks amazing. Hopkins is getting it going. Will Fuller's going to get it going. And Kenny Stiller's on the team. I still like Duke Johnson, and the Broncos are just ready to go home. They're ready for offseason. So, yeah. Rock with me. Let's commit this week and get you a nice hat like this one, Gotha, because ask me where I got this hat from.
I'll get to that in a second. But something that you need to say is this is a minus 400 favorite. And I don't know if the value's there. There's no value, actually.
Nah,
but
first of all, there's value in a sure lock pick, guys. I am 1,000% correct this hit. This is like betting on Apple. This is investing in Apple.
Oh.
This is a stock bet, all right? This is not chance. This is the Houston. You just see the Houston Texans. They just beat the Patriots. You think the Broncos will come in there and beat the Houston Texans? And they owe the Broncos a whipping because of what they did with Brock Osweiler. They should have told Brock Osweiler wasn't good.
All right, well, Minty just told us earlier that if you Botox your armpit, you don't sweat anymore. So I think if this doesn't hit, you should have to Botox your armpit.
Nah, it's 1,000%, but Botox, I just don't, it's hard to explain to somebody. Why you don't sweat? I had this betting show, and you wouldn't believe it, and I lost a well-picked bet.
I think you should save your money at home and buy yourself a hat from the Yahoo Sports Shop, which is where you got that hat from. I'm not even going to ask you.
I got it from the Yahoo Sports Shop.
Get your favorite team merchandise at Yahoo Sports Fan Shop.
All right, Jared, we got 2 moneyline parlays to give the people. What's your parlay of the week?
Boy, I'm happy about this one, all right, y'all. I like this one a lot. I like the Dallas Cowboys in a must-win game to go to Chicago and beat the lowly Bears. The Lions should have beat them last week, and I had them as my locked and loaded. Then I like Tennessee to go on the road and beat the Oakland Raiders because Tennessee looks hot. Tannehill's good. I'm rocking with them right now. And Henry's on my fantasy team. And I like the Saints because that's my locked and loaded, and I think they're going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm taking the Jets to beat the Dolphins. I know somehow the Dolphins beat the Eagles, and the Jets lost against the Bengals. But I like that to flip back to reality because this is the real world. And if you get all 4 of those teams and you put just $10 on it, you're going to win back 55. You're going to win back $55, and that's what I want, plus 550 odds. Take the money line.
The amount of things that can go wrong, though. Everything could go wrong. The point of the money line parlay is supposed to be a lock. I'm worried.
What do you mean? In the
I'm worried about
NFL,
Dallas, I'm worried about Tennessee, I'm worried about the Saints, and I'm worried about the Jets.
all right, so you think Miami's going to beat the Jets. I just want to make sure we can go through this a checklist. You think the Miami's going to beat the Jets?
Do you think the Jets are better than the Eagles?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think Miami could beat the Jets.
Okay, you think the 49ers come in and beat New Orleans?
Definitely could happen.
Okay, all right. And you think Oakland beat Tennessee?
Definitely could happen.
Let me tell you about Oakland. You want me to tell you about Oakland?
Tell me about Oakland.
All right, how much time we got, all right? Because I live betted Oakland last week at plus 30.5, and they went down, and they were only down by like 27, and let Kansas City Chiefs score. I'm like, oh, great. I was like, just get one touchdown for your dignity, right? They drive down, and they score a touchdown, and I'm like, yes, I won. And then these fools get a block kick extra point that runs back for a touchdown, and they lose by 31 points. I'm done with them. You know what? They're going to lose bad. Tennessee Titans going to make a mockery of the Oakland Raiders. They're going to beat them so bad, they're going to be like, you know what? We don't want to play in Oakland anymore. We're moving to Vegas. Go ahead. Give me your team. Give me your parlays. Give it to me.
Okay, I'll give you mine, but let's have a moment of silence for that bad beat.
That was the worst beat. That was the worst beat.
The blocked extra point for 2. I'm sorry, I don't even mean to laugh. I'm not faking that laugh. That hurts.
I was in the middle of celebrating, too. That's the part. I was like, yes. Yo, I hit that bet. And as soon as it happened, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, come on.
All right, well, I think you're on a tilt. I think that's what a tilt is when you lose a bet and you start making really bad decisions. I think you're chasing. And I'm going to give you a lock, and if you're in the burning money business, I'm in the making money business.
Okay.
This 3-team money line parlay, Green Bay just to beat the Redskins.
All right,
that's going to happen.
That's possible.
Baltimore just to beat the Bills.
That's a woo.
That's going to happen.
All right, woo.
And the Eagles to beat the Giants. Please let Eli Manning play. This will give you even money. So $10 on this wins you $10. That's a good bet. That's a locked and loaded bet.
Well, now I got to critique. I got to do some surgery on your bet that you did it on me, all right? I like Green Bay to beat the Redskins. Yes, the Redskins have proved some stuff, and Haskins could be better than we think. I don't know. But Baltimore going into Buffalo, one of the hostile places, with Buffalo having they could win the AFC East for the first time since ever. I think that's not an easy game. That's not. I know Lamar is great. Lamar Jackson, one of my favorite. Okay, Lamar Jackson, you're going to win MVP. But Buffalo's not an easy place to win, and they still can do that. And then the Eagles, are you really betting on the Eagles after they lost to the Dolphins like that?
They're playing the Giants.
Giants are better than the Dolphins. There's no prop bet on the Giants saying, do you think they're going to go 0-16? And if they don't go, we'll give you plus 1,700. You know?
2 questions for you. Giants over the Eagles? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, and would Eli Manning start in the XFL? I don't think so.
Oh, you hit me with a surprise right there. Eli Manning ain't taking them hits. XFL is extreme. Eli Manning is about flag football.
All right.
He ain't trying to take no hits.
So yeah, I'm taking the Eagles then. I love this parlay. I'm very into it.
I think the Giants beat the Eagles.
All right. Well, speaking of prop bets, I think it's time for Give Me Some Props. Harmon, welcome back. It's time to do some more NFL prop bets. First up, we got Patrick Mahomes over under 2.5 total touchdowns this Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going over on this one. I know it's the vaunted Patriots defense, but come on. We just saw Deshaun Watson drop 3 touchdowns on him last week. And the key here for this one to me is the total touchdowns, because Patrick Mahomes has actually been taken off running quite a bit of late. He has over 80 yards rushing in his last 2 games. I think he can sneak one in on the ground. I definitely think he can get 2 through the air. So for me, I think this is a pretty easy over. I'm very confident in Mahomes this week.
Before I move to Jared, do you think that Kansas City wins that game?
Yeah, oh yeah, I do. I think so. I mean, just with the way the Patriots offense is right now, I'm taking them to win.
That's some good news. Jared, what are you thinking?
Well, me and Harmon usually never get along with this one, but yo, for the sake of it's fantasy playoffs first and foremost, all right? So I'm a little biased because I got Pat Mahomes as my quarterback, but I just think the Patriots defense has been struggling as of late, and I think Pat Mahomes has caught fire as of late. I love the over 2.5 touchdowns.
I'm taking the over 2. That's kind of scared me that we're all thinking that. You know how that goes. But
yeah, that's not
a good sign. Just roll the dice. We'll roll the dice. All right, next up we got Drew Brees minus a half passing touchdown versus Jimmy G. Harmon, I think I know where you're going with this one.
I'm going with Jimmy G, the quarterback of my 49ers here in 2019. And that half a touchdown difference makes a big difference as well, because honestly, Drew Brees right now is playing a lot like a game manager, which isn't a bad thing. It's good for the Saints overall as a team, but I do think it takes the ceiling off of their passing game. Plus, we know this 49ers defense is an elite pass coverage unit, but they have shown some struggles against the run, and Alvin Kamara is due for some serious positive regression in the touchdown column. He's been getting a ton of looks, but has scored on under 10% of his touches right now. I think if someone's going to have a big touchdown day versus this 49ers defense, it's going to be Kamara and not Drew Brees.
All right, Jared, what are you thinking?
All right, we're back to normal. I was wondering if Thanksgiving that wore us off. No, you're out of your mind, man. Michael Thomas is getting ready to break a record this year with what he's doing. The 49ers have showed weakness. I mean, Russell Wilson threw for a couple of touchdowns on him, and I just think that the Saints defense actually at home is going to handle business, and I'd be surprised if Garoppolo throws any touchdowns.
I'm taking Jimmy G. I know Jared's all in on the Saints winning that game, but I think the 49ers are going to be giving them a run for their money, so I'm on Jimmy G. All right, last up we got Drew Lock. Over under 170.5 passing yards. What are you thinking?
This is a pretty soft line, and for that reason, I am going to go over because we know that the Houston Texans defense, in the secondary especially, has started to show some cracks. I mean, honestly, the secondary has been problematic all year. It's really been the run defense that's started to show some cracks lately. So I think Drew Lock, obviously the yards per attempt was not super impressive last week, but it was his first start. I think he can throw the football down the field a little bit more here, especially to Courtland Sutton, who's been shockingly one of the most consistent stud wide receivers in the entire league this year. I think those two can connect on a couple of deep passes against this pretty undermanned secondary, and for that reason, I am going to take the over here for Drew Lock.
Jared, you going over too?
Yes, I'm going over here. I'm going over for two reasons, all right? I think they get blown out. And what happens when blowouts happen, defense relaxes, and they end up getting bust coverages, and he's going to have to throw the ball a lot. They're trying to get him equipped to being a starting quarterback to see what he has. I think he throws 40-plus attempts, and I think he gets over 170 yards with 40 attempts.
I might just be really still mad about how that game ended last week, but I'm taking the under. First start on the road. I don't see a whole lot of productivity coming from him, but I'm probably wrong. That's how this goes. We all know. But all right, and we also all know that if you need any fantasy advice on Twitter, follow Matt Harmon at @MattHarmon_BYB for anything that you need. Thanks so much for stopping by, Matt.
Hey, my pleasure, guys. And 40 attempts, I mean, yeah, he can go way, way over that line on 40 attempts. I love it. Thanks so much, guys, for having me.
It's going to happen.
We love Matt Harmon.
Love him.
Do you know what we don't love? The rest of these football games. It's time for I Don't Hate It, where we go through all the rest of the remaining games and find one game that we don't hate. So, Jared, take a game off the board.
Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, the game I hate the most is the Browns versus the Bengals. If you're not from Ohio, why are you watching this game, all right? I don't want to bet on it. The Bengals played a lot better. I don't know if Andy Dalton's trying to prove that he wants to be a starting quarterback next year, but the Browns obviously laid an egg, and they still need this one to win to get to the playoffs, hopefully have some hope. I just still don't know what to happen with 8.5, so I don't want to bet it.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where the Browns aren't fun to watch anymore, and Bengals were never fun. But shout out to the guy who lived on his roof, and he finally got to come down because the Bengals won. There's like a restaurant owner doing that. So he didn't hate that. We hate this game. Next up, I'm taking off Detroit versus Minnesota. Detroit's getting 13.5 at Minnesota, though. I think Minnesota's going to want to come back, but without Dalvin Cook, I'm not putting any money on the Vikings right now.
And it's a conference game. That many points in a conference game is always tricky.
I'm very, very against betting on that many injuries.
Yeah.
Too many injuries. I hate it. What's next?
Pittsburgh Steelers versus Arizona Cardinals. Still think the Pittsburgh wins here because they're in the playoff thing, but they're going to the East Coast. And Mike Tomlin always finds a way to lose these games. I don't know why. He can beat the best teams in the NFL, but he's like, yo, end of the season on the road against one of the worst teams in the NFL, let's take an L. So I just don't want to bet it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, and our producer, Kent Brown, is a die-hard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and he's not feeling good about this game, so I'm going to stay away from it as well.
Is that because, you know, when you're a fan of a team, you're like, I just don't know. If I bet money on them, they're going to lose?
No, he said the same thing that you said about Tomlin not being able to win. I think he's under 500 against teams that are under 500 on the road. That's a pretty insane stat.
That's some kind of inception. It's like within a level of within a
within
level.
A level. I'm staying out of those levels.
Under 500 against teams under 500 while on the road. All right.
So we got 2 games left. We got the Chargers versus the Jaguars or Seattle versus the Rams. Both kind of okay games. What LA team are we not betting on?
The game I want to watch is the game I don't want to bet on.
Okay, so we're taking off Seattle and the Rams.
Taking that off, all right. That's be a good game, I hope. I don't know. I'd like to see Russell. Russell's always exciting. But as far as betting on them, I don't know. The Rams always have a number. They lost to them in Seattle by a missed field goal. They lost by 1 point. I don't touch this one at all because the Seattle still has a chance to be #1 seed or get a bye. So, yeah, just not bet on it.
All right, so that means that we don't hate, technically, the Los Angeles Chargers versus your Jacksonville Jaguars. Are you going to bet on the Jaguars again? Is that what we're Is that what the show is?
I'm a fan, man, and when you're a fan.
Oh.
Nah, Jaguars keep losing me money. I can't do that, but I tell you what's a safe bet with the Jaguars. Right now, they can't stop a fly. I love the over a 43.5 this game. I just feel like the Chargers going to be winning. They're going to be like, wait, we're the Chargers. We like to blow games. Let's let them score 3 touchdowns. And then the Jaguars come back and hopefully win, but definitely go over.
The Chargers will find some way to lose that. I'm not going to lay points with the Chargers, and I'm not going to give any points to the Jaguars. I'll take the over with you. We'll just root for good football. I love that. They can't stop a fly.
Why are the Chargers literally the worst team in the last game?
It's not bad beats if you do it every week. It's a bad beat.
Consistent beats.
But yeah, they're making the whole segment. So yeah, that is really funny. They just find different ways to lose every week. So we hate all those games, but you know what we don't hate? Thursday Night Football. Frank, thanks so much for stopping by. Thursday Night Football tonight. The Dallas Cowboys going to Chicago, laying 2.5. Who are you taking?
You know, I got to go on Dallas here, and I know it's not popular to do anything with the Dallas Cowboys right now, but if you look at all the stats, this team is better than 6-6, and I know there's the Jason Garrett factor here, but you look, they're in the top 8 in the NFL in yards gained. They're actually number 1 in yards gained, in points scored, yards allowed, points allowed. Their per play metrics are really good. Their advanced stats are really good. This just does not profile as a 6-6 team, whereas the Bears, we all know their deficiencies. I think the Cowboys are a little undervalued, as crazy as that is. We always overreact to the Cowboys, right? They're America's team. Everybody, good or bad, we go crazy about. All we've been hearing about for the last week is how Jason Garrett's losing his job, and he probably is. But on paper, this team is better than 6-6. I don't think the Chicago Bears are. This is still a pretty talented Dallas team, a pretty good Dallas team. They can move the ball in like Chicago. I actually feel pretty confident with the Cowboys, which feels strange because they've done nothing to earn my trust all season long.
All right, Jared, you going Cowboys too?
I'm going for every reason that he just said. He made it sound better than me. That was great. They are a good team. I think they're undervalued. Honestly, this is my opinion. Everybody's like they're going to fire Jason Garrett. This team is still in the driver's seat to go to the playoffs, and if they win 2 playoff games, or even possibly, because they do have the talent, go to the Super Bowl. Right. Don't shoot me, Cowboy fans, but they won't win the Super Bowl. But I think they could definitely beat the Bears, all right? Mitch Trubisky hasn't shown me anything, and that defense is starting to show cracks. I mean, even the Lions came in with a quarterback they signed that week, and were like, you know what? We almost beat them. So give me the Cowboys plus -7. Give me the Cowboys -7.
Cowboys -7. I don't know about that one. I'll take the Cowboys too because I'm still really mad at the Bears. -4.5 last Thanksgiving. Still really salty about how that went. But,
terrible.
You know, just got to move on. We also got a total 43.5 points tonight. What are you thinking?
I got to go under here. It's one of those things where I think both teams kind of want to grind it out. I think the Cowboys are really going to run the ball a lot. And, you know, that just takes time off the clock. I just don't have any faith in this Bears offense. We saw it last week. You mentioned the 4.5 there. They should have blew out the Detroit Lions, and they just can't do it. This offense isn't very good. I know Mitch had it 366 or whatever last week, but that's not going to happen again. This offense is stuck nowhere against a pretty good defense on paper. I just don't think the Bears are going to score enough to hold up their end of the bargain. I think the Cowboys are going to want to run the ball a lot, get Zeke going. So everything here points to the under for me.
What are you thinking, Jared?
It's 2 really good defenses in very, very cold weather on a Thursday night. Give me the over. I just feel like it's going to be I feel like it's going to be some big plays happening. You know, obviously sometimes people think when it gets cold, everybody's going to stop. It just means that there's going to be 2, 3 80-yard touchdowns. I like the over here.
I'm taking the under for everything you just said. It's going to be cold. That's the only part that scares me about Dallas, but you're never going to take an over in a Chicago Bears game. Frank, is there any other games that you really like this weekend?
You know, there's a few out there. I really honestly like the 49ers. I watch the Saints team every week, and I just keep expecting them to turn it on. Look, they went 5-0 without Drew Brees, and we just expected, wow, Drew's going to come back. This is going to be the best team in football. And it just hasn't looked that way. I mean, if you watch these games, yeah, they come out on the winning end most of the time, but it's always a struggle, you know, against the Panthers. Even against the Falcons last week, they let them back in it. It just seems like the Saints team, something is lacking right now. I can't exactly put my finger on it, but I really like this 49ers team. The only thing I don't like the travel spot for them to go all the way to the East Coast, play a very physical game against the Ravens, have to come right back against the Saints. That's a very tough spot for them scheduling-wise. I just think the 49ers are the better team right now. So you're going to give me a couple points with them. I'm totally fine with that. I know the Superdome is a tough place to play, but that 49ers side really stuck out to me just because I simply think they're the better team. They know Seattle's right on their tail. I think they have the urgency, and I think they go in and get the upset in the Superdome.
I like that. I keep telling Jared that I'm scared of that game, but he's all in on the Saints. So
take the Saints at home. That's my rules.
I might take the Niners money line just because of how this goes. But thanks so much for stopping by, Frank. If you guys need any betting content on Twitter, follow Frank at Yahoo Schwab. It's a great follow. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Appreciate it, fellas.
All right, Frank. Take care.
All right, that wraps it up for our pro football coverage. But really quick, back to school. Jared, big college football weekend. Who do you got?
Championship weekend, baby. All right, to be honest with you, I love LSU the whole season. They have a great offense, but I got to take Georgia plus 7.5 in a must-win game. Georgia always does a good job of preparing for good teams. They played in the championship 2 years ago. I know they have a lot of injuries, and their receiver is suspended for the first half because he was trying to kill somebody on the field. I don't know why he was doing that. But I still believe that they're a great defense, and I think that this game should be close. Do I think they win? They have a chance to go to the playoffs if they win, but I don't think they lose big. So I'm taking Georgia plus 7.5.
It scares me. LSU tends to blow people out, but you know what? 7.5 is a lot of points. Another team that blows people out is the Clemson Tigers, but I'm taking UVA plus 28.5. That's 4 touchdowns. You can lose by that much and still win. And the thing about it is Clemson needs to stay healthy. So if they're up by that much, say they're up 35 in the fourth quarter, they don't have their starters on defense out there. Get an easy garbage time touchdown. I like UVA in this one.
Yeah, because they're also playing for the playoffs. I like that one, too. I think that, and the hook helps you, too, because it's one of those things.
Oh, yeah, live and die by the hook, man.
The one thing that will worry me, and I don't want to talk about all the fears, but I just feel like this is like, yo, we got to go all out to try to win this game. I don't care if we're down by 35. Keep throwing that deep ball, and it keeps getting intercepted, and you're just like, come on, run the ball out, man. What are you doing?
No, I feel you on that. I'm hoping that UVA competes. If they can compete, this could be easy money. Probably a loss out there. I'm going to throw out Hawaii plus 14 against Boise State. I know they're going to lose.
Those are guys.
I love my Rainbow Warriors.
You bought a hoodie, didn't you?
I bought the hoodie.
Did you wear the hoodie? If they win, will you wear the hoodie in the next episode?
It's going to come in like 2 weeks because it's coming from far away. But once
Hawaii.
it comes, I will rock it. I will rock it.
It was actually worn by actual Cole McDonald.
Exactly. It still smells. He didn't have the Botox in the armpit.
This is going to be a good weekend, though. College championship weekend.
It's very exciting. And one last pick, we'll throw it out there. As always, Spring Dog, Alan Springer, our executive producer, he's taking the Chiefs with you. I don't know if that's good or bad. We'll find out. This has been Mad Bets. Good luck, everybody.
Let's go, Chiefs. Let's go, Saints.